Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Coach India and this is my full week of workouts in lockdown. So it's been almost a year since I posted anything on here because I've really just been focusing on my Instagram. But we'll call this the first official video of my channel of many. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is India. I was a gymnast for most of my life, from the age of 5 to 22. I competed for Ireland and Northern Ireland internationally up until I was 18, and then I moved to America to go to college there and did Division I college gymnastics and got my Bachelor's of Science in Exercise Science. And after college, I interned as a sports performance / strength and conditioning coach and ended up working there for a year. And that was in the US. So after a little bit of moving about different countries, I started my own online coaching business where I coach athletes and former athletes and help them get stronger and fitter and just overall improve their performance. I am currently living in Belfast in Northern Ireland. We have been in a full lockdown since the day after Christmas, so that means no gyms, no restaurants, no shops, absolutely nothing. So I've obviously been working out at home a lot of last year and all of this year, so I wanted to share what my workouts have been looking like lately, just to give you guys some motivation or some ideas of what you could do at home and to just really see how I train as a former gymnast and a strength coach. So, disclaimer, these workouts are made for me, not anyone and everyone. So I have created these workouts based on my training age, so that's how long I've been lifting for, based on my previous programs, my current abilities, my goals, everything, okay? So this is not for you to necessarily take and do yourself. These are just, like I said, for motivation, for ideas. Certainly you can take these workouts and do them yourself for a training program, but there are so many factors that go into what your training should look like, so I just wanted to put that out there. This training is not for everyone. So my current training split is 2 lower body, 2 upper body, and then a conditioning day. So for the week I'm about to show you, it was split into lower body push, upper body pull, lower body pull, upper body push, and then my conditioning day. So that training split is basically splitting up movement patterns. So a lower body push day would be primarily like squats, step ups, things like that where you're pushing. And lower body pull day would be deadlifts, glute bridges, hamstring curls, things like that. And then the same for upper body pull would be like pull-ups, rows obviously. Upper body push would be push-ups, bench press, things like that. Although this is the kind of split I follow, you don't have to stick to the push-pull method to a T. You can add in, glute bridges on your squat day. You don't have to completely separate everything. I like to train movement patterns rather than just body parts. So there's a little bit of variation in my workouts, but the push-pull split is just generally what my workouts look like. And then for my conditioning day, I've been doing like circuit style training / interval training, or what you would see on Instagram as HIIT training, but it's not HIIT training. Fun fact, the HIIT that you see on Instagram all the time from all these influencers, that's circuit training or interval training. You can't just throw together some exercises, do them for 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and call that HIIT. HIIT training is usually done on like a bike or with sprints or something like that, where you're actually giving 100% in those high intensity intervals. Just doing bodyweight squats for 30 seconds, that's not 100% high intensity. So just so you're aware, that is circuit training and not officially HIIT training. So I've been doing 2 circuits back to back on my conditioning day, just because obviously I don't have a cardio machine or anything like that. I don't like running. My body doesn't like running. My ankles don't like running. So I have to do something in the apartment that actually gets my heart rate up for an extended period of time. So the workouts I filmed for this video, that was actually the first week of this new program I started. So you might notice that the sets or reps are slightly lower than what you would expect. Like for example, I was only doing like really 3 sets of everything, whereas over the weeks, I'll up that to 4 sets, or up the reps like a couple, or I'll increase the weight, or increase my range of motion. And those are all ways of progressive overload, which is how we get stronger, how we build muscle, all that good stuff. So in a 6 or 8 week program, whatever you're doing, you want to increase the difficulty or the weight or any of those things each week as best you can, so that we're actually building on whatever goal we're working on. So I will stop rambling now and let's get on with the workouts. So my first workout of the week is lower body push. So I'm not going to talk through my warm-up in too much detail, but as you can see, I'm focusing mainly on lower body mobility and just priming the muscles that I'm about to use in my workout. So after that, I'll get my mini band on and do some glute activation. And this is really just to get that mind to muscle connection ready to go. Along with that, I'll do some core activation with these dead bugs and bear crawls. And this is just because we use our core muscles in all of our lifts, so why not activate it before we start? And then finishing up, I'll do some neuro activation with these drop squats. And this is really just getting my body ready for any kind of jumping and landing. So I'm starting my workout off with 3 sets of 5 box jumps, and this is because you want to do any kind of power exercises at the beginning of your workout when you're fresh. So as you can see, the bench that I'm jumping onto is not very high for me, but I'm at home. This is just better than nothing, obviously, and I'm still getting to work on some jumping and really focusing on that soft landing on top of the bench. And then I'm pairing this with single leg explosive hops. So I'm doing 5 in a row on each leg. I'm trying to explode up as high as I can using my arms, and then trying to get that landing on the last one. I'm really trying to absorb it and find my balance. Moving on to my primary strength exercise, I've got these dumbbell front rack squats, and I have my heels elevated, as you can see. So this is because my ankles normally limit my squat depth. So by lifting them up a little bit on these plates, I can get a greater range of motion and focus on more of a knee dominant squat pattern rather than a hip dominant squat pattern, which I would normally do. So next up, I have reverse foot elevated split squats. So you'll notice I let my back knee drop towards the floor as I bend down, and I'm leaning forward slightly on each rep, and this is really just to target my glute a little bit more. And watching this back now, I'm definitely going a little too quick, so next time I will be slowing these down a little. So moving on to more of the accessory work of my workout, I've got these suitcase marches, and these are a great core stability exercise because you really got to fight to keep your shoulders level, to keep everything straight up and down, and just to keep your balance as well. So it's all about that core strength. And then in between the marches, I've got these 2 glute exercises back to back, and this is really just to fatigue my glutes because we're trying to get those gains. And you'll notice on these single leg glute bridges, I'm pausing at the top of each rep, and then I'm also going to hold the last rep for 10 seconds just to increase the time under tension, and again, just to fatigue the muscle. And then the second glute exercise is these 3-way abductions. So with my mini band again, I'm sitting on the edge of the bench, pulling my knees apart. First, I've got 20 leaning forward, and then it's 20 sitting upright, and then 20 leaning back. Then I'm finishing up my workout with these single leg calf raises with a dumbbell in one hand. So if you know me, you know I had a lot of ankle injuries as a gymnast, and to this day I roll my ankles a lot. So it's really important for me to get some kind of ankle strength into my workouts. And then lastly, I've got these bear position plate pull-throughs. And this is just for some extra core work. This is all about stability. But after a leg day like this, these will kill your quads. So, just a warning, you will be shaking. So, second workout of the week, we've got upper body pull. So again, we're just going to fly through the warm-up, and you'll see I'm obviously going to be focusing mainly on upper body mobility rather than what you saw on my first workout of the week. And you'll see I like to do some core activation with these inchworms. Then we've got some T-spine rotation, just getting my spine ready. And then also some band work. So this is again just to prime the muscles that I'm about to use in my workout. Finishing off with some yoga push-ups and some scapular pull-ups. So I'm starting my workout off with strict pull-ups. These are a bit of a struggle for me right now because I didn't have a pull-up bar for most of 2020. So I'm really just focusing on keeping really good form and trying to get a pause at the top so it's nice and controlled. So next up I have barbell bent over rows. So only 5 reps each time, so I'm trying to go as heavy as I can. Then I have 2 exercises back to back. The first one is these bench supported single arm reverse flies. And that's paired with Copenhagen planks with the knee drives. These are great core stability exercise and really work on your adductors. So that's your inner thighs as well. So moving on to more of the accessory work, I've got this bicep curl complex. So you've got 6 on each side while you're holding 1 on the other side, and then 6 with both. And then more of a gymnastic-y type move, we've got hanging leg raises. So I used to be able to knock reps out really quickly, but I'm trying to slow it down, keep it in control so I'm not swinging into it. And then finishing up, I've got another really gymnastic-y move. I've got single leg handstand shoulder taps. So I'm really just trying to keep my hands, my shoulders, my hips, and my legs stacked in one straight line. I'm trying to wiggle as little as possible as I tap my shoulders. So really a full body exercise, great for gymnasts. So day 3, I've got lower body pull. So similar kind of warm up to my first lower body day. You'll see pretty similar mobility exercises, but I like to do some different things just to keep it interesting for myself and to work on mobility that I may not have worked on earlier in the week. You'll see Nova likes to interrupt my workouts a lot. At the end of the day, it is her world and we're just living in it. So you'll notice lots of mini band glute activation work and some hamstring activation, just because this is lower body pull, so that means glutes and hammies are gonna go hard today. So I want them nice and primed and ready to go. So again, I'm starting off with my power exercises. So I've got dumbbell squat jumps first. And I'm pairing that with these single leg hip thrust plyos. So it's basically just a single leg hip thrust, but you're lifting your hips as quickly as possible so you hop off the floor slightly. So my primary strength exercise are these tempo RDLs. So I've got a 3-second lower, 2-second pause at the bottom, and then 1 second to stand up. So tempo is a great thing to use when you don't have enough weight, but you want something to be a little bit more difficult. So next I have 2 exercises back to back. First is these lateral step ups. So kind of like a normal step up, but you're starting from side on to the bench. So you'll notice I'm leaning forward slightly before each rep, and then I'm pushing down onto the bench with the foot that's on the bench. And I'm trying to use my other leg that's on the floor as little as possible. So it all comes from the leg that's on the bench. And in between each set of step ups, I've got 3 sets of 10 slider body saws. So a little bit of core work while my legs recover before the next set. So next I have Turkish get-ups. So this is a full body exercise that focuses on shoulder stability, core stability, leg strength, pretty much everything. So if you haven't done these before, I recommend taking it step by step, taking it real slow with a really light weight. Mine are by no means perfect. This is the first I've really put them in a program for myself, so we are definitely still working on them. So I'm finishing off with 3 accessory exercises, the first being banded single leg hamstring curls. So I'm really trying to squeeze my hamstring and pause on each rep. And then mini band kickbacks. So notice how my back stays neutral. I'm not arching my back to lift my leg higher. And it's really just my leg that's moving. And lastly, side hollow lifts. So kind of a gymnastic-y move. I'm doing 10 reps and holding the last one for 10 seconds. So my final strength workout of the week is upper body push. So similar kind of warm up to my first upper body day with a few different mobility exercises. I'll be focusing more on my shoulders for this warm up because it is a push day, meaning my shoulders are going to be more used than my back muscles. So lots of shoulder mobility. And again, yoga push-ups and pike push-ups because I'm about to do overhead press, and then some band work to finish off with. So I'm starting off with barbell push presses. So I'm using momentum to get the bar up above my head. I'm locking out at the top, keeping my core tight, and then I'm focusing on a 3-second lower back to my chest. So this is just to help with some strength gains as well. So next I have pause push-ups. So just a regular push-up with a pause at the bottom of it. And this is because I'm really trying to improve my push-up strength during this program. Then I have 2 exercises back to back. The first is kneeling single arm press. So I've got my hand on my stomach here just to remind myself to keep my core really tight, because with overhead presses, it's really easy to either lean to the side or lean back and arch your spine to help get the weight up. And then I'm pairing this with bilateral dead bugs with the dumbbell. So this is just a dead bug with both arms and both legs at the same time. And I'm really just focusing on keeping my back flat on the floor while I open out. Then I have 2 accessory exercises back to back. The first one is banded tricep pushdowns. So I'd normally do this on the cable machine in the gym, but this is my alternative when I'm at home. And I'm pairing that with quadruped kick throughs. So this is a core stability exercise, but it's also going to burn out my triceps, especially after those tricep pushdowns. And then I finished off with just some playing about with handstands. So occasionally I like to do some handstand work just to feel like a gymnast again, and so I don't lose the skill. And finally, for my conditioning day, I've got 2 circuits. So the first one has 5 exercises, and I'm going to do 3 rounds. First exercise are these dumbbell cleans with marches. I've got 6 reps on each side. Then exercise 2 are these reverse foot elevated split squats. So it's just body weight, but then I've got 8 reps, and then the last 2 are jumping ones. Then exercise 3, I've got a push-up with shoulder taps, just 6 reps of these, trying to keep really good form, trying not to wiggle in those shoulder taps. And then 4th exercise, single leg hip thrusts, 10 on each leg. So I'm holding my knees so that my back stays in a good position, and it all comes from my glute.
And finally, slider pike ups, 10 of these, trying to lift my hips up, sliding my legs in. So after those, I will try not to take much rest and go for another 2 rounds. So circuit 2 is a Tabata style circuit, so it's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 3 rounds. First exercise are these kneel to squat. And then exercise 2 are these candlesticks. So it's roll back, feet to the ceiling, and then jump up. Third exercise are these slider alternating hamstring curls. So I'm trying to keep my hips up like a glute bridge, sliding my feet out, and keeping my core tight. And the last exercise are these plank up down. So I'm trying to keep my hips as stable as possible and getting my hands under my shoulders. So after that, I'll go for another 2 rounds.
So I hope you find some value by seeing my week of workouts at home during lockdown. Whether you got some motivation to work out at home or try something new, or even if you learned something from me. I would really appreciate it if you could give this a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I do have a lot planned, but if you have any requests for videos, comment down below. I would love to see them. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you stay safe out there. Bye.